Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. Well, somebody typed me up and they said, I want a dessert recipe. So that got me thinking when I was traveling in France for a bit. There was something in the eastern part of France, in the Alsace region. It was a fresh plum tart with custard that I really liked. And then there was this other dessert I liked when I was in Brittany. It was called the Flan Breton, which is basically dried prunes under a big layer of baked custard. So I'm making something that's a mashup between the two. Enjoy desserts, discover stuff from all over your country, and other countries for that matter, and let's check out what's going on in the kitchen. The Flan Breton tart. So here I have some prunes, and I'm going to soak them in a bit of port. Now you can use brandy, Armagnac, whatever you have on hand. Now you need to soak them at least 2 hours. I'm doing it overnight, and you can use anywhere between 2 tablespoons and a quarter cup of booze. Make sure you cover everything really well. This helps soften the fruit, and when you put it in the oven, it ensures that it won't burn. The next important step is to cover and wait. This ensures that the fruit is soft and everything is flavorful. And now for the pie dough. 150 grams of sugar. In this case I'm using powdered, but whatever you have on hand. Followed by a pound or 450 grams of all-purpose flour. Next, we're going to use about 300 grams of butter. It's unsalted, and 1 egg. So now we mix the butter, the sugar, and the flours together. And then, afterwards, we add our liquid ingredients, that is, the egg and the vanilla extract. You can add tons of different flavors. Almond extracts, lemon zest, little hints to suggest a difference in flavor. The main thing is to get a granular texture at the end. If the dough is too tight, then you develop the gluten and your pie crust will be tough. And this is the texture we're looking for. Granular, not all together, little chunks of butter everywhere. So we're going to wrap this up in the fridge for about half an hour. Then we're going to take it back out and we're going to sandwich it between some sheets of plastic wrap. This will help us roll it out in a uniform manner, and then we can line up our pan. Just look and see, nice and flat, and everything's all together. It's not granular anymore, except on the inside, and that's what makes it tender. So we're going to use our plastic to help us lift the dough into our pan, remove the plastic, and then we remove the excess dough. This gives us a nice, even, uniform pie dough. Followed by docking. Now this is an important procedure because this helps the steam to escape and prevents any big bubbles from forming within your pie shell. So we put the dough in the freezer. After about an hour, we'll make a parchment paper circle to put inside our pastry case. We're going to weigh this down. I'm using dried beans here. It's a cheap and affordable way to do it. And then we're going to bake this at 375 for about 20 minutes. This is a procedure known as blind baking. And after 20 minutes, it looks like this. Notice how the edges are golden? This is a sign of doneness. It should also feel a little bit gritty. Now, onto the assembly. We're going to add the prunes to the inside part of our case, and you make sure it's not too crowded because we're going to put custard in there. Speaking of which, we're going to use 50 grams of sugar, followed by 3 whole eggs, or you can use 2 eggs with an extra yolk if you prefer, but a little extra protein won't hurt. Then we're going to add about half a cup of cream and half a cup of milk. And we're going to follow that up with a little bit of flavoring agents. In this particular case, I'm using vanilla, but you could use bourbon, calvados. There's tons of other flavors. So we put our sugar and our eggs, our liquid, everything all in the same bowl. And we're going to gently whisk all this together. Don't incorporate air. Air causes bubbles, and bubbles makes an unsightly custard. So remember, whisk gently, no bubbles. Now I'm adding my vanilla extract at the end. Now, most extracts contain alcohol. Alcohol can sometimes cause your eggs to curdle or coagulate. So remember, add it at the end. Whisk it a few more times very gently, and then we strain it. Now, straining prevents any coagulated bits of egg or any undesirable material from passing into your custard. And this is what we want. We strain it into a container, and then we pour this all over our prunes inside of our case. And then we're going to bake it off at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for approximately half an hour, perhaps more, just until the custard is set. Now that the custard is set, we remove it from the oven, and then we're going to have to take the pan off. So here I'm using a ramekin to support the base. Then you just work the edge off, and there you have it. One Breton flan tart, ready to eat. Now this is a satisfying dessert, so try it. Share, like, subscribe. Have a good day.